This week's story takes us to St. Mary Parish, where along the Bayou Teche lies the small town of Baldwin, home to a pretty successful youth football team. But over the past decade, they faced an opponent they can't seem to beat. Here's more in tonight's Dial Dalford report. If this shot looks dark to you, that's because it is. And its rival coach K-Ron Caesar of the Bayou Teche Jaguars hasn't been able to defeat.
When we get out here as parents, coaches, and just, citizens of the community, we can't access the lights.
For years, parents have lined up their cars along the fence line to light the field just so the kids in the community can practice safely.
It's become extremely trying when we're trying to provide something constructive for the kids of the community to keep them off the streets, but we're met with this type of resistance.
Now in standard time, when the sun sets just after 5 p.m., it's almost impossible to practice without artificial light. And not having access to field lights is hindering Coach Caesar and the staff's plan to provide a safe space for kids.
It's about saving our kids. I'm responsible for my kids. I'm responsible for these kids. We as a community, especially elected officials.
According to Baldwin Mayor Abel Phil-Prejean, locks were placed on the light switch boxes to keep people without proper authority from controlling the lights.
People were using the park and just putting the lights on and leaving them on. The next morning they were still on, and so the town of Baldwin is financially strapped, and that was a consideration in that.
That's not right. In a public park, why don't they have timers on the lights? I'm born and raised in this town, and I ain't never saw this a day in my life.
Now, after speaking with Mayor Prejean, he says all anyone has to do to get the lights turned on in the park is come on down to City Hall and let them know during what time you need it. Now, Coach Caesar says the team has been on a bit of a break, but he'll be sure to let us know if the field is lit during their next practice. If there's an ongoing issue in your neighborhood or community, or there's a story you'd like me to investigate, send me an email at dialdalford@klfy.com.